Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 5, episode 4, and we're back one game earlier than planned on New Year's Eve for a massive FA Cup tie against a top half side from the Premier League. I think it's the first time that's happened in this series, so I'm very much looking forward to it. So any Aston Villa fans watching will be pleased to know it's them I'm talking about. They're up in 10th place in the Premier League at the moment after a weird mid-season break due to the Winter World Cup. So we've got our best chance ever of beating a side like this today as they're playing their first competitive game for 2 months due to that World Cup break. If we go to their schedule, their last game was the 29th of October, so 2 months and 2 days, but they have had a string of friendly games to warm up for this, so I've no idea what to expect. We have had a little bit of trouble recently. You wouldn't be able to tell it from the league table, but we've had some real injury problems. And to be fair to the lads, they've been absolutely brilliant during that period. They've fought away and got some results, and some of the big hitters will be returning soon. We're still missing Nico Williams and McKendry, our 2 first choice wingers, but Owen Jack is back on the bench today after 4 or 5 weeks out, where we've still managed to get some results. And just look at the way he still improves. He's absolutely brilliant for us. He's starting to get interest from other clubs, but we're not letting him go for anything. And the board shouldn't accept any deals for him because there's nearly 4 million in the bank and they've got no excuse to accept a low transfer offer. And for any of you worried about the next 2 games, we'd said we were going to do a feature-length episode focusing on Maidstone's rise up the pyramid with us and Luton Town, our beloved club, having a feature episode on them. They've been stuck in League One throughout this career, and as we move into the January window, we could even get some debutants in those games too. So the plan for today is very simple. We play this FA Cup tie against Villa and then we plan our January window. What are we looking to add? I want to get your opinions on it as well, as obviously one of the advantages with losing my voice for half a week is that I'm recording up to date now. So your comments can have a direct impact on what I do during the window. Obviously don't suggest names because I can't do anything with that. Obviously we're 5 years in the future, so it might be irrelevant anyway. And more importantly, we don't use the player search screen. We only find players in natural ways, so through scouting reports, seeing them against us with our own eyes, in media reports and things like that. We don't just go and search for individual names. So I more want to know what positions you feel are our weaknesses from the games you've seen. And obviously I'll give my opinion during this one too. So let's get into the FA Cup tie. It's all about the big game. The magic of the FA Cup is well and truly alive at Torquay. And this competition has done so much for us in this career already. That big day at Huddersfield when we were in the conference. We've had so many lovely runs. We beat Peterborough, I think, when we were in that run as well in the conference. And probably a bit unusually for someone of my generation in my 20s now, I really love the FA Cup and the League Cup for that, and I'd love to win trophies rather than finishing in top 4s or top 6s. So very much important to me, and hopefully we'll be able to do well, especially as this career goes on. When we're a mid-table Premier League team, which hopefully will happen sooner rather than later, we can really focus on a cup run if we know we're safe in the Premier League. But for today, it's all about giving the fans a great occasion and boosting the finances of the club yet further. Every time we improve financially after a day like this, we manage to get an improvement to a facility or a coaching setup. And that's really what this is about on the way up the pyramid. Those sort of off-the-pitch developments can shave 2 or 3 years off reaching the top, which is why they're so important. And the other thing that's added a bit of spice to this is John Terry came out in his interview yesterday and said he was delighted to be playing a weaker team. So if we can do something to upset them, I'd be even happier. Obviously the dream out of this one is to get a replay. If we can go to Villa Park and get 20,000-30,000 in, that'll really help us with our off the pitch development. And obviously moving forward, we do want to start competing with teams like this, though that'll probably take a promotion to the Championship. Let's look at the lineup for today. As we've mentioned, Owen Jack's back on the bench. He's not recommended to play a game, so we're just going to have him there in case we need one goal with 10 or 15 minutes to go. The man I have to single out at this stage is Andrew Nelson. He's come back in from the abyss. He really had a go at us. He said he wanted to leave the club. Why are you not playing me? I'm better than Elliot Lee as the backup. He's come in, I've given him a month, and I tell you what, he's absolutely proven it. 11 goals now in all competitions. Scored 2 in our last game, which we'll look at in a moment. And he's also been scoring goals galore, particularly in our Checker Trade Trophy run. So we'll go out with our 4-5-1 today. It's a formation that's worked really well in our last few games, especially since the last episode. That was against Sheffield Wednesday, where we got a brilliant 3-2 away win. In fact, both of our last two episodes have featured really good wins, tight games and high quality football matches, the Bolton one being before that. But since then we've been on a fantastic run, losing only one game to top of the table Rotherham. We just keep grinding out results, and I don't want to speak too soon, but we're starting to play a bit like those sides that got promoted in previous years, where we just eke out results from nowhere, and we've been a brilliant side in doing that. Johnny Burns become a colossus at the back again, and I'm starting to feel really positive about this season. Obviously, to get here, you know we've won our FA Cup games. So in the first round against Newport, we won 2-1. Jack and Lee getting the goals in that. And then we won 2-0 against Bournemouth under-23s to get through in the Checkatrade Trophy. Elliot Lee with both goals there, including one from the spot. We drew 2-2 at home to Mansfield in the league, an Owen Jack brace, either side of a Thacker brace for Mansfield, and then a 5-2 win away at Lincoln. Nelson, Williams, Walker and a brace from Jack. We never really looked like losing in truth, and were brilliant in front of goal. We won 2-0 at Oxford away from home. Our new 4-5-1s really worked on the road, and Butcher and Clark got the goals in that one. You can see Owen Jack's not taking penalties anymore, and at home to Fleetwood, Elliot Lee got a brace. Again, either side, we go 1-0 up, 2-1 down, but then have the character to get an equaliser, which is something I really love. In the Checkatrade Trophy, we won at Cheltenham. We were 2-0 up in this one. Again, Nelson getting the decisive goal. Then away at Shrewsbury in the league, Nelson again with an early goal as we drew 1-1, conceding a late equaliser. Our home to Rotherham, we played the champions in waiting. They were absolutely brilliant. Nelson missed a penalty, but we never looked like getting a result, and in truth didn't deserve to. But against Burton in the last game, another one of the examples of what we were talking about. 2-0 down with 10 minutes to the break. Nelson gave us a sniff before half-time, equalised with 20 to go, and then Johnny Byrne popped up in the 3rd minute of injury time with a bullet header. So we come into this one pretty happy with where we are, and looking at Aston Villa, where they haven't had a competitive game for 2 months, it really is a great opportunity for us. With Nelson in the form he's in and Owen Jack back on the bench, I'm optimistic. So let's look at the lineup again. We've got Bass in goal, Kenlock and Facey the fullbacks, with Byrne and Davis in the middle, McDonald, Butcher and Clark in the centre of midfield, and then List, Walker and Nelson the front three. McKendry's out as we mentioned, so an attacking midfielder on the left is certainly a priority for January. It's one of the positions we weren't sure about, as we didn't know whether we'd be playing a 4 or a 5 in midfield. But as we're pretty set on this one, particularly on the road or at home against bigger teams, we need to be careful moving forward that we've got backup options in that position. It looked like I talked about the recovery of the voice too soon, as we're starting to go again, but let's get into this tie and see if we can get the perfect antidote, a brilliant FA Cup win against a Premier League side. A narrow 4-3-3 for Villa. A few memorable names there. Horahan's there in real life. Tammy Abraham's still up front. Hepburn Murphy's a youngster at the club there. But most of them are new players. The likes of Connor Cody, who's come from Wolves. Doyle Hayes in the middle's a Villa youth prospect at the moment. He's got to 24 now and he's a good player. He's someone we'd like to look at on the way up. But let's give the lads the team talk. What does Sean Taylor recommend? Saying nothing at all. We're not going to do that. We're going to tell them to carry on where they left off. Fingers crossed we can get a result. We're starting to get some tunnel interviews now. He's not ready to start the match, Owen Jack. We're not risking him in the FA Cup as the league is still our priority. Kenlock's got the ball on the left to McDonald. I'm not quite sure why we lost the first 10 seconds of the match there, but either way, after 5 minutes we're drawing 0-0. It's a corner for Aston Villa. Horahan with the first chance for them. Clark heads it away, but it's fallen back down to Connor Cody. Shoots and it's wide, and we managed to survive with 10 minutes gone. We've got a free kick on halfway with Davis. Out to List on the right. List cuts inside. He's got time to shoot. Forces a good save from Henderson. And it's going to be a corner kick. We've still got that awful, slightly pink ball for the FA Cup, which you can barely see moving around as Walker takes the ball in. He's headed away by Dumfries as far as Rowan McDonald. He finds Byrne. Byrne's got a man out on the right in Butcher. Cuts in on his left and goes back inside to Byrne. Plays a 1-2 eventually. He's been fouled after the ball's gone surely and the referee signals an advantage. Clark keeps possession for McDonald. We're really doing well in possession here. Byrne's got the ball, but the highlight ends as the danger starts to pass as we were forced further backwards. It's Villa with an attack now through Plattenhart. He throws it into the the central midfielder. He plays Hepburn Murphy and now Hourihan. Doyle Hayes on the edge of the box. Out to Dumfries on the right, and they're starting to get into the ascendancy here. Doyle Hayes finds Humphreys. They're playing a double one there. Dumfries it is, not Humphreys. I'm all over the place today as Hourihan gets it back again. Out to the left-hand side to Plattenhart. Delivers to Abraham, but Johnny burns a Colossus in there as always and heads it away. The danger's not over though as Doyle Hayes shoots from the edge, but it's wide at a post, and with 20 gone it's still 0-0. We've got a throw on the right. We're getting plenty of dominance and possession in this game. Just not really creating chances and seeing many highlights. But Facey's in on the right here. There's no one in the middle. Where's Andy Nelson? Walker's got it back on the edge for a second time. Finds Facey. This time we've got men in the middle. Tries to cross it, but it's blocked. The same happens with List on the follow-up. And now Hepburn Murphy's on the counter. This is where we're worried. The Premier League pace against us. Dumfries on the right. The cross is blocked. Back to Doyle Hayes. And Bass makes a brilliant save. Tips it onto the bar. And is behind for a corner kick. Hourihan will take it, an in-swinger from the right, up towards Bass, and he just commands his area, pushes everyone out of the way and gathers, but now Plattenhart delivers again. This one's a free header. McDonald lost his man, but he's headed over the bar, and we're going to survive till half-time, hopefully. But Plattenhart's going to try and change that. McDonald heads it away, but it's straight back to the throw-in taker. Doyle Hayes, 30 yards out, plenty of time, goes for another shot, but it's blocked. Walker over the top to Nelson. He's in, is he? The defender's back. What can he do? He's fouled him. Surely he's fouled him, ref, but he gets it away for a throw and nothing's given. I think I might have been a little bit excitable in that appeal, as no players or fans were up supporting either. McDonald gets the ball into the box, but Cody clears. As far as Hepburn Murphy, Burn can't get there. It's into Ngoy. Oh, what a save by Bass. 2 minutes to the break, and we really needed that from Bass. He's got to deal with the corner still, but he's prevented Villa from going ahead. Plattenhart delivers, Clark heads away, and List can counter now. We've been a bit more end-to-end than we expected. Villa have had the slight better of it, but we've certainly still created chances and had our spells of possession. It is half-time, it's 0-0, and we've really competed well in this half against the top side in the Premier League. Let's give the lads the team talk. We're going to tell them they're doing well. Sean Taylor's spot on there. We couldn't have expected much more from them. We're playing a team that are 10th in the Premier League, don't forget. They've not rotated heavily. The likes of Doyle Hayes, Hepburn Murphy, Abraham, Hourihan, they're all playing games. They're playing in the Premier League regularly, and we're competing against them with our side. Plattenhart's got the ball for Villa, goes long to Hepburn Murphy. He gets the ball into his own half, and Ngoy's in one-on-one. Bass makes another brilliant save. We are going to talk about the development of our young players in the future. There's someone that have done really well here. We've struggled with it at Stevenage in our other save, as Aaron Davis wins a great header. But in this series, we've really done well. The training facilities are improving, the youth development's working, and we put a lot of emphasis on training, so we will talk about that as a key part of our meteoric rise through the leagues. The likes of Owen Jack, Aaron Davis, Alex Bass, they're all doing us proud here. Youngsters that we've really helped provide a professional career for. We've only got 20 minutes left, so we're going to make some substitutions. Butcher's not had the best game. Stephen McComb will get his chance for him. He'll go into his preferred attacking central midfield role. Tom Walker's complacent, but there's no one on the left wing. How on earth can you be complacent in this game? You're playing a Premier League side, it's 0-0. I've no idea what he's doing. Andrew Nelson's not had the best game. I'm going to gamble Owen Jack gets 20 minutes up front. And we'll save the third sub in case we need it in a few moments' time. But let's see if we can hold on. A replay would be the perfect result, as we discussed before. 10 minutes to go. Jack with a free kick. Deflects off the wall. Could have gone anywhere, but it's behind for a corner kick. And I tell you what, even better than a replay would be stealing it 1-0. Walker with the in-swinging corner. Who's he going to pick out? There's a few men in there towards the centre half. Connor Cody heads away. And now Brain on the counter-attack for Villa. What a bit of pace this lad's got. The man's unmarked in the middle, but Shea Facey with a wonderful tackle to put it out for a throw-in. Brilliant from the lad, and that's going to help us towards our goal. Just 2 minutes left. It's Villa with a throw. Plattenhart in. List heads away. Back to the left back again. Now Doyle Hayes to Kenny. John Joe Kenny that is. Out to the right to Dumfries. He's going to deliver. Blocks off the left back and is behind for a corner kick. And we're very much holding on now. We'll see out this set piece and then we'll make our final change. It's knocked down. It deflects. Kenlock off the line. Bass was finally beaten, but our goalkeeper pulls off some magic. We've dropped to cautious and we move into stoppage time, looking to time waste in a moment. Bass over the the top towards List. Headed away as far as Shea Facey. List could get in behind here, but it's straight at Henderson, and he deals with that easily, the Villa keeper. He clears it long. McDonald, a brilliant shield to the back four. Wins the second ball as well. Out to Kenlock on the left, and we look the more likely at this point. It deflects through to Platt and Hart though, and Villa will get away with it. We just want it out of play so we can make our tactical changes. Facey goes long. Owen Jack's chasing the keeper into the corner. Henderson clears, but it's straight to Clark. Into McComb, but it's misplaced. And now Abraham's in behind at the other end. A frantic finish to this cup tie. The back post is there, but McDonald clears away. Let's make our changes. Time wasting all the time. Play for set pieces. You all know the drill by now. You can probably say it along with me as I go. Regroup, hold shape, slow the pace down, and we've not got much else to do other than hold on. We're going to make our last sub in a moment as well. Even though Kenlock would normally be the candidate, I'm not going to worry about him. We don't want to mess with the back 4 or 5. We're just going to bring Janeel Bennett on for Tom Walker. One of them will go and sit over on the left for now. I don't know who's better out of it. Elliot List is slightly better, so we'll just do that for the last minute of extra time. We've made the final sub, and we've just got to hold on. Henderson with a long ball over the top. Aaron Davis again heads it away. He's been brilliant today. Dumfries to Doyle Hayes. Please don't let us lose it like this. Fulton out to Platt and Hart. He's out to the right. Brilliant work from Janeel Bennett, who blocks the cross, and is behind for a corner kick. Why has the whistle not gone, ref? It's been 4 minutes. Burn heads away. The whistle's finally gone, and we've got to extra time. What's gone on here? It's the FA Cup 3rd round, and we're now going to extra time. If I'd have realised that, Owen Jack wouldn't have been on, and I wouldn't have gone so defensive. Sometimes you just wish you'd taken a second to read the rules, and now we've got a stick or twist. Do we stay in our defensive mentality for half an hour, or do we go back to normal now we've made it to the end of 90 minutes? We're going to tell the lads we appreciate what they're doing. I'm not quite sure which one's best. They're positives for sure, and we're going to go back to our tactics and go to normal. I know this is going to possibly be a regret for us, but we have to do it. We're going to switch back to exactly what we were before the changes. No time wasting. We might play for set pieces, but they're probably better in the air than us, so let's not worry with that either. We'll start extra time, and fingers crossed we can get a result out of it. I don't know, we've not got replays now obviously, so the luck of penalties could help us out. McComb wins it back to McDonald. Now Clark's got the ball, but the highlight ends, and we'd happily not see another one for the whole of extra time. We're into the 3-digit numbers. It's 102 minutes nearly on the clock. Kenny's got the ball 25 yards out for Villa. Switches it to the right wing in Dumfries. Brain knocks it down. It's cleared away by McDonald. Bernard thrown himself in front of it. And now Bennett on the counter. Can Owen Jack use his pace to get in behind? I don't know how fit he is. Clark finds Jack. Jack shoots. What a save by Henderson. I thought he was going to steal it for us, but it's behind for a corner kick. What a chance that was. No clear-cut chances in the game, but that's about as close as you'll come to it. List went for the volley from the edge of the box, but it was deflected out for a throw. It's nearly half time in extra time, and we've done really well in this first half. I just hope we don't run out of legs, or we'll have to repeat our time wasting tactics again. There is the half time whistle, and there's just 15 minutes between us and penalties against Villa, unless it goes to a replay after extra time. I haven't read the rules, so I obviously don't know. Doyle Hayes gets the ball to Fulton. I'm not sure if these changes are planned for real life. I'd presume for them to be in FM they have been, so this isn't something I'm looking forward to. I thought it was just the quarter final they'd taken the replays out. Sorry, the 5th round I thought they'd taken the replays out, but it's McDonald now to the right back. Facey loses out, it's headed away. Kenlock's there on the edge, hits the crossbar. Oh, it's all over the place now. This has been a frantic end-to-end game. Probably one of the best cup ties you'll ever see, but it's still 0-0 after 112 minutes. What a performance from the lads though, and this gives me confidence for the rest of the season. Platt and Hart with a free kick, blocked by the wall. McDonald's holding it up and clears, and we'll deal with that with 5 minutes to go. Dumfries with a throw to Villa right back. Kenlock wins it off Abraham, but he's got it back off him. Dumfries on the right. Byrne heads it away. Colossus in there, the 2 centre-halves. Platt and Hart shoots, but it's into the side netting, and it looks like we're going to hang on for penalties, or a replay, or whatever else they're going to throw at us then. Kenlock clears it away, but it's gone straight to Dumfries. He's going to try and deliver. Davis is trying to get there, but Bass has given them a big call and just picks it up in his 6-yard box. A long kick headed away by Connor Cody. Kenny out to Doyle Hayes. It's fallen to him again from the headed clearance. Now Dumfries, the right back. Very much been the danger man in this one, but it's gone behind for a throw-in. We're going to make some tactical changes. The same ones as we did at the end of the first 90 minutes. We're going to go to cautious. We're also going to go back to our usual regroup, hold shape, slow it down, less time waste, let's play for set pieces, and let's just try and get a penalty shootout out of this. 2 minutes to go, fingers crossed we can hold on. Dumfries finds Hepburn Murphy, up to Platt and Hart on the edge, too much time, Hepburn Murphy headers, but it's straight at Alex Bass. He really should have scored that. You can see from the match ratings, the two centre-halves have been exquisite. They've won everything in there, apart from that last header. But Alex Bass is there when they fail, and that's why we've got such a good side. Kenlock's got the ball in the left-back area, just keeping possession for List. He finds Clark. Clark's got a bit knackered now after 120 minutes. He's surely fouled there, but we've kept possession. McComb puts it out so he can get treatment, and hopefully that will see out another minute. 20 seconds to go. Johnny Byrne there winning a header again. Here's Fulton. Doyle Hayes. Fulton again. Please don't concede. Kenny's got the ball in the middle. The three midfielders just trying to find an opening. Platt and Hart on the left. Hepburn Murphy lost out in the air. And thankfully it's a free kick. I thought we were going to regret it in the last second there. We've hung on for penalties. And now you can see just how bad our ratings are as we head into the shootout. We've got to select some takers. So let's just see what we can come up with. Jack Clark scored a penalty this season. He's going to go first, and my confidence is waning as I look at the ratings. Kenlock second. I'm going to trust Owen Jack third. He'll probably miss, but so will anyone else. Stephen McComb fourth. Janelle Bennett in fifth. Elliot List. Rowan McDonald. We're looking at composure and penalty taking more than the finishes. We're going to get Alex Bass up there as well, I think. Facey, then Byrne, and then Bass and Davis. It's probably not going to get past 3 or 4 as we don't have any good takers at the club. Cross your fingers, everyone. You can tell we're going to need it from the ratings of our players. I just hope it's not a complete demolition. We've really fought well as Clark steps up first and it's saved. And there we go. All of our hopes gone. We're going to lose on penalties. Alex Bass will need to save all of them for us to have any chance. But he's not going to save the first one. It's into the top corner. And that's pretty much Villa through. Our best penalty takers are rated 8. And Villa's worst one's probably significantly better. Kenlock puts it in. A good job from the left back there. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Here's Hepburn Murphy. He's missed a few chances for Villa in this game. Hopefully he can miss another one. He doesn't. That's a great pen. Into the bottom corner. And now it's the moment. Owen Jack steps up. We know what's going to happen. Why did I pick him? Owen Jack. There we go. Every single time. I know his rating's 8. But it's not an atrocious rating. He has missed 8 out of 9 penalties. That can't be right. Brain puts it in the top corner and Villa are basically through. A really good effort from the lads, but we've now got Luton in 3 days' time and the next episode could start with us playing our reserves, which I didn't really think about there as I didn't know this was going to extra time. McComb stepping up, he's got to score. Anyone from now and the tie's over. We're practically at sudden death with just 3 taken by each side. McComb steps up, good penalty from the youngster there, and we drag it on for one more kick. Alex Bass is back in between the sticks, and can he provide some heroics from the next 2 penalties? Doyle Hayes steps up, one of the best players on the pitch today. I really like the way he played, and hopefully he's someone we'll have at Torquay in the future. He's only 24, so we've got plenty of time. Come on, Alex Bass, provide some heroics. Doyle Hayes steps up, and Bass doesn't get anywhere near it. Glided into the bottom corner, and Villa win on penalties after a 0-0 draw. They certainly had the better of the game, but we put up a really decent fight and we definitely had our own spells, as well as a couple of good chances. One brilliant save from the Villa keeper from Owen Jack, and a shot that rattled off the bar from Miles Kenlock. So we certainly played our part, but it was an absolutely wonderful cup tie, despite the 0-0 result. Let's go and talk to the lads. We're just going to tell them they did well again. It was a pleasing performance against a top 10 Premier League side, and my only worry now is that we won't have anyone fit for the Luton game. We're still 4th in the league after a couple of other sides played. Swindon are right up there. You can see it's just because we're nicking wins. We're not getting many draws in the league, but turning those points into 3 points with last minute winners are certainly going to help us this year. I'm confident we'll be in the top half and not even have to go close to worrying about relegation. We will very quickly talk about the January transfer window, but obviously I didn't expect that to go to extra time and my voice isn't quite as recovered as I thought. So let's very quickly go and have a look at the squad. We've got a few players who are out of contract at the end of the year. You can see we're trying to get them on new deals. So a few of the youngsters at the club, Brunt, our backup keeper, Greg Weir, one of the young midfielders. He's actually taken a slight pay cut. McKendry and Shea Facey, two of our reliable squad players. And then Janelle Bennett, who again deserves another year as he keeps popping up with 10 minutes of magic. He set up the winner at Burton, and that pretty much prompted me to give him a new contract. We have pretty much decided away from home this will definitely be our formation, as well as at home to the bigger sides. We still occasionally play a 4-4-2, and we've also been working on a 5-3-2 that we'll play occasionally. I'll show you it here, with a defensive midfielder in McDonald, and then two talented strikers up front, with two box-to-box midfielders supporting them, and wing-backs who have a licence to get forward. But looking into the window, very much with the hat of our usual formation on, we need to get an attacking left winger. McKendry is a decent pro, but he's not really top class for League One, and Tom Walker's not natural in that position either. We haven't really got anyone else who can play there. Occasionally we've had Elliot Lee as an inside forward, but again he's nothing special in that position. Looking at the striker position, you can see two of our three formations and both of our backup formations essentially include two strikers. We've only got three at the club, but we don't need to sign someone for that. The reason being is that Robert Humphries is on loan at Tranmere. He's got 9 in 24 in the league for them, and he's a really good pro. He's rated 2-star. He keeps flicking between 2 and 2.5, so he might be a candidate to come back. He'll develop in training with his personality, and he's perfect in that advanced forward role if we need him, as well as being competent as a pressing man. So he's very much someone who'll be back at the club, and we can look forward to the second half of the season with just 1 or 2 additions that can hopefully help us challenge for the playoffs. But if you did enjoy this episode and that wonderful cup tie, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments where you think we need to strengthen in January. Do you think we have a weakness that I'm not seeing? Or do you agree that we're just a winger short of being top quality in that 4-5-1 formation? We'll obviously be back for the next 2 games on camera as we play Luton and Maidstone with some special features. Maidstone have come up the leagues with us and Luton have been stuck in League One, but they're obviously the club I support in real life. So I want to do a bit of a feature on both of them and turn it into one of the more detailed off the pitch episodes to make up for the last week where, due to my croaky voice, we've just done a quick commentary and a tiny bit of action off the field. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, as well as weekly videos from our FIFA 19 career with Crew Alexandra and our Newcastle series, where we've continued for another season after the Christmas special. It should be a really entertaining second half to the season in this one, after a valiant effort against a good Premier League side, which shows we may be able to compete at a higher level. But a massive thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time for the next 2 games.